This asset has been facing the downturn we spoke of a few days ago, and we may have spotted the floor. Sometimes you can find an edge over price action if you use the correct combination of tools. The predetermined target has not been met yet, but something tells me we may be on our way to it. Welcome back to the channel on this Hump Day Wednesday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol PCSA. Let's kill them. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive into ticker symbol PCSA. And what you're observing here is actually the daily time frame, right? So this is the chart that we were observing during the live stream a few days ago, right? So I mentioned that we had a head and shoulders formation here, right? So you have the head here. This would be your left-hand shoulder, and this here is your right-hand shoulder, right? So we were able to identify a potential downside coming into the market, then, right? So the target that we initially spoke of is slightly modified towards the upside because it was a little lower than I have it here. It was around 33.47, but the bottom side target that I'm looking for is around 34.22. Now, there is a curious bounce from the price action here, right at the bottom side of this channel that we've been looking at, for this whole time. Now, are we going to be able to bounce from that channel again? I don't know, but please remember that we still have a target of 34.19 to factor in the probabilities here for a continuation to the downside. Another thing we can do, right? Diagonal lines are not the best lines to use for trading, but even still, right? We could probably determine a range of support if we do so, right? So taking this into consideration, this bottom wick here, taking this one here, and then looking to see if we can get that contact from the head and shoulders price objective, and also from the current candle, right? So let's just see. This is the current low printed from today, right? So that low is coming out to 38.50. So if we have a 38.50, let's go ahead and just make a range out of this, right? Because 38.50 may actually show us the true range here, right? So just like this here, we would be looking at a total range of 38.68 to 34.16, and the focus would be right at about here, right where the trend line where the trend line meets. So if that's the case, then let's see. Actually, the focus zone from this side, since it's the daily, may actually be 37.55. If I'm just going to correct it, just ever so slight here. So 37.55 is going to be that target. I'm going to go ahead and put it on there as a focus area for us to observe, right? At least in case price action continues onto the downside here, because it does look like, to be completely honest here, it does look like price action has a continuation to the downside. The daily time frame volume, bear volume, still above the moving average, which even though it's decreasing in volume here, which means the bear thesis is kind of losing strength, it's still set to continue to the downside because it's still above that moving average. So it's above typical volume being traded right now, specifically to the downside. So there's still short interest in this, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at some indicators here to potentially find a low. Apologies about that, team. I'm starting to lose my voice, right? Because I'm starting to feel a little bit under the weather, but it's all good. So let's try to pull up here the buy daily time frame. Nothing there. What we want to find here is on the RSI. We want to find where the RSI signal is above the SMA 14. So let's move on up. 5-day time frame. Ooh, okay. So that may be it, but I generally don't like when we're when the signal is actually facing towards the downside and we're thrusting towards that SMA 14 in the gravitational zone. So that honestly means that just like it'll likely fail it and come back down. So let's look at the bi-weekly time frame. Okay, so the bi-weekly time frame also has something similar to that too, but the monthly, which by the way is over in 8 days, that has the support bounce zone, right? So if anything here, I do believe that from the shorter time frames, we may need to kind of rely on the 5-day time frame here, which is going to be over in 13 hours and 34 minutes, and that would be by the end of the trading session tomorrow. right? So as soon as we can get tomorrow being December 21st. Okay, so we're going to see if we can catch that bounce to the upside here, right? Because the 5-day time frame RSI doesn't really have. I mean, you can't manipulate this too easy. It's kind of a heavy time frame. So we're gonna see. Yeah, we're just gonna see if we can bounce from that SMA 14 and then continue on to the upside. And this downside here may very well be correlated to the space that we spoke of 34.16 to 38.68 with a focus of about 37.55. And that's using the strategy from the inverse head and shoulders in I believe, the 8-hour time frame. Right there, you go. So let's see. Yeah, let's see if we can find that bottom side, team, and then we would continue. But other than that, this would just be another higher low, right? And then we would continue onwards. So let's see if we can continue that. Let's see if we can actually push that narrative, and then we'll be okay. All right, team. But I think nice for us to keep this a little bit short and sweet. Actually, you know what? Let me see if we have anything in volatility. So volatility into the 4-hour time frame is completely oversold. It's still suggesting some downside, and all of this, we're still suggesting downside here on momentum. So if that's the case, this is giving me some more validity for the range bottom that we spoke of. Okay, the 34.16 to 38.68 one more time, right? To 37.55 as a focus. Okay, team. So that's presently what we're looking at. Next thing to actually look at, just real quick here, would be the bearish engulfing here, right? So this is a huge red candle engulfing the prior green one, and this would be the continuation candle here. Let's just see how far this can take it, and then we will observe price action then. Okay, team, but definitely be careful with the small caps when the broader markets are ripping, right? So there is a little bit of weakness coming in on the SPY and broader markets overall, so this may be good for the small caps. So let's just observe what price action does in the coming days. All right, team. So, I think this is a pretty good place to leave off, right? Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Never, 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 never. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well a very, very good rest of your night. And I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team.